Hi, and welcome to the Sterling Net Point Power Ranking Show. My name is Barry Sterling Mitchell. My co-host is Ben Dickerson, and we're going to go through our basic statistics that we do every week. And this will be the one that will finish up the regular season, Benny. So we'll have the net point rankings, the points scored, points allowed, and turnover differential for the season, for the regular season. So we'll know who did what. And I did also, again, bring in the last 3 weeks so we can kind of see who's got the momentum going into the wild card playoffs. So let's take a quick look here.
Hmm.
All right, here we go with the ANP average net points and ANPL3 average net points for the last 3 weeks. We always give kudos to the first place team. That would be Seattle. I did throw the playoff information in, so you see the XY and the XZ. XZ, they all made the X means you made the playoffs. The Z means you won the division.
Right.
Why you got in. So you're in. In any event, there's Seattle in first place with plus 11.2 net points. And again, net points can go positive and negative. Over the last 3 weeks, we see New England having a big move at plus 21.3 points per game. That is their average win margin over the last 3 weeks. Um, Back over on the left-hand side, top five for the season: Seattle, the Rams, New England, Jacksonville, and Buffalo. As you can see, and again, with our net point rankings, you can kind of see that by net points, who the teams are that are going to be contending, the contending teams. Now, you see here, Detroit missed out at number 8, okay? But you have San Fran and Philadelphia below them, still qualifying. And below that, you have Green Bay, the Chargers, and Chicago. Chicago coming in at plus 1.5. Baltimore barely missed out, and they were tied at plus 1.5. So you have the Chargers 1.6, Green Bay 1.8. My Niners 3.2 and 3.9 and Philly 3.2. If you go over to the other side, though, some heftier numbers. I mean, we don't get down to like 10 until we're like in 7. That's a three-way tie. So you got Jacksonville plus 18, Cincinnati plus 15. Your Giants, Benny, plus 12.7 over the last 3 weeks for fourth place. Minnesota, Buffalo, and New Orleans all tied at plus 9.7. Seattle plus 9.3. So Seattle settled in a little bit. My Niners at plus 5, which is a little bit better. Houston, 4.7. Rams, 4.3. Atlanta, 4. Baltimore, 3.7. Denver, 3. Cleveland, 2. And Philly over the last 3 weeks, plus 1.7. Huh. Close games for the Eagles there. Close games. What you got, Benny?
Um, the column on the right is the last 3 weeks. You'll see a lot more non-contenders over on that list as opposed to the seasonal list over on the left. Not surprised at that because, week 17 for maybe a team or two, and week 18 for quite a few teams, we had some meaningless games and we had some pretty high scores, uh, pretty big winning margins for some teams that either didn't play their starters or had nothing to play for, or both, that kind of thing there. So I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. But the seasonal list I find very interesting. One, two, three, four, five, six. The top 7 teams are all playoff bound. Then you got Detroit sneaking in there, probably because the amount of points they've been scoring over the course of the season. And then you have one, two, San Francisco, Philly, Green Bay, and the Chargers also here. And Green Bay and the Chargers are both the 7 seeds in their corresponding conferences. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That means On the next list that you're going to show, there's some playoff teams that are pretty low, right? Yeah, because if 14 teams make it, so that means there's two teams that are lower than, where do we go? 16?
Yeah, you ready?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm ready. Who are they? I could figure them out, but I'm not going to. Oh my.
Pittsburgh
Okay.
and Carolina.
Yes. And here's the funny thing. Those two teams are the two lowest in our power rankings for the entire playoff scenario coming up this it's starting this weekend. However, they are not the bottom seeds. They're both four seeds because they're both division winners.
Ah, so you can be a division winner and
Still be
at
ranked low.
plus 0.6.
Right.
That is amazing. And then Carolina is coming in the negative at minus 4.1 for the season.
Right. But they got the four seed because they're a division winner.
And their division winners, let's look at something. Carolina, are they in the top at all for the last 3 weeks? No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Carolina's minus
Oh
5.3
no,
for the
they're
last
down there.
three
Oh yeah,
weeks.
they're way down. I didn't notice you did that.
Wow. Matter of fact, they're the same ranking. All they do is look right.
Right.
23rd for both the
Yeah.
season and for the last 3 weeks. So, but Carolina is that case, and I've heard people talk about it where it's win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. They just, so the question is, how close are they for, or, where in the series are they? Did they just lose? Nope, they just won, I think, to get in. So,
No, they lost. They got in on somebody else.
oh, okay. Well, then they're due for a win.
They're due for a win.
They're due for a win.
You could look at it that way.
You could. You could. Let's look at the scoring, though. Let's see who's putting up the points, Benny.
All right.
Rams for the season, finishing up first, 30.5 points per game. And in the last 3 weeks, New England said, pshaw with your 30 points. How about 36 points per game for first place over the last 3 weeks? So, that New England, I tell you. Coming in for the season, second at 28.8. And Seattle coming in third, 28.4. Detroit coming in fourth, 28.3, which is, again, why you expect Detroit to be there. But Buffalo, 28.3 for top five. So you got your 28 points, Benny, my magic numbers.
Right.
Uh, let's see. On the right-hand side, top five, New England, Cincinnati. Cincinnati, that's like seeing Dallas up there, isn't it? The
Uh,
Rams and Jacksonville are tied for third and fourth place. And San Fran coming in with 31 points per game for the top five. They've over the last 3 weeks. Now, for the season, when I just said like seeing Dallas, where there's Dallas in seventh place. As you go down Indianapolis, you have Chicago and my Niners at ninth and 10th. Chicago scoring 25.9, my Niners scoring 25.7. You have Baltimore, Cincinnati coming in at 20 in the 24-point range and the 23-point range. You have 13, 14, 15, and 16 with Houston, Denver, Pittsburgh, and Green Bay. 23.8, point 6, point 4, and 23 even for 16th place for the season. All right, these are your seasonal records. Over the last 3 weeks, Baltimore putting up 29.7 points. Houston, 27, tied with your Giants. New Orleans, 26.7. Seattle, 26. So Seattle, again, from third to, what's that, 10th over the last 3 weeks. Chicago, 25.3 points per game. Indianapolis, 24.7. Atlanta, 24. Buffalo, 23.3. Washington, 21.7. And Dallas, 21.3. Dallas finally started to settle down on the scoring there. Those are your top half of your scoring teams for the season and for the last 3 weeks, Benny. What you got?
So just like in average net points, we had 12 playoff teams in the top half. For scoring, we have 11 playoff teams in the top half.
Okay, good counting.
Yeah, it's not easy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, there you go.
So
11.
let's see who's hanging in there without bringing up points.
Ah,
Ah,
Philadelphia and the Chargers.
uh-huh.
Anybody else? Carolina,
Carolina again.
18.3 points per game. So, interesting, interesting. Now on the right-hand side, Philly, last 3 weeks. Again, this is a
Same
team that
spot.
the season and the last 3 weeks, they're both ranking at 19. So they're 19.7 points per game, tied with Denver and Tennessee.
Couple different ways to look at that.
Tell me about it. That's actually kind of high scoring for Philly, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Let's see. The Chargers 17.7 for the last 3 weeks. So they fell off a little bit there. Tampa Bay, tied with Tampa Bay. Look at that. Look at that 17.7. Detroit, Tampa Bay, Chargers, Arizona, and Cleveland all tied at 17.7 points per game. And Carolina coming in at 28 at 15.7 points per game. Oh, wait a minute. Green Bay, playoff team, 30th at 14.3 points per game. I
I'll
wasn't
tell you,
expecting.
man, that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence for
Um,
Carolina and Green Bay.
Man, I'm
But
telling
we'll have to see what points for, I mean, points against looks like. Maybe
you. Good
that'll make me,
idea.
maybe that'll
Let's
make
move
me feel
over.
better.
So sometimes the defense helps. Let's see.
Oh, definitely.
Average points against, that's or allowed. Average points allowed last 3 weeks.
So that's some
So
of the usual suspects.
Seattle in first place, Houston in second place, Denver in third place, New England and Philly coming in, completing your top five all playoff teams, going from about 17 points to about 19 points. So only about a 2 point spread from first to fifth place.
Mhm.
Dropping down to Jacksonville, giving up 19.6 per game. I'm sorry, 19.8. I was looking at Minnesota there. Then you got the Chargers, the Rams, Green Bay, Buffalo, and my Niners between 20 and 21, less than 22 points per game. So that's not bad. Carolina, 22.4 points per game allowed. So they're in the top half at the very least here. Now, these guys really got stingy in the last 3 weeks, however. So number one on the for the season, 17.2. 17 gets you ninth place in the last 3 weeks. And that's a New Orleans type number. So Minnesota, Buffalo, your Giants. Then you got a two-way tie, New England and Jacksonville, Cleveland, Seattle, and Denver for the top eight. Um, and let's see who else we got there. Chargers and Pittsburgh coming in at 20.3 points allowed per game to round out the last 3 weeks top half. What do you got?
Okay, so again, looking at the left column for the season, we again have 12 playoff teams that made the top half, but two of them are didn't make it in the top half in points for, and they are Green Bay and Carolina, who we just talked about. So there's the difference. That's why these guys are playoff teams. Defensively, that's what got them there.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see who's in the bottom half. Pittsburgh and
Mm,
Chicago for the season. Well, we know Chicago and Pittsburgh both were having defensive issues. So
right.
that's
Their claim to fame is turnovers.
their claim to fame. Chicago, especially, yeah. Claim to fame is turnovers, which we'll see shortly. On the other side, for the last 3 weeks, Carolina, not bad. 17th ranked. only giving up
Yeah,
21 points per game.
there you go.
Better than Houston at 22.3 points per game. Chicago, 25.7. My Niners, 26. Green Bay, 26.3. And the Rams, 28.3 in the last 3 weeks. That's a 27 place. Uh, that's for
Drop
27
off.
place on the average points against over the last 3 weeks, Benny.
It's a little scary.
Tell me about it.
That's quite a drop off to be going into the playoffs.
Telling you so. Let's see now. After points against, we go to our one of our favorite stats. Turnover differential, average turnover differential, ATODN, for the last 3 weeks. Chicago has maintained that first place pretty much the whole season, Benny. I
Yeah,
haven't
pretty
looked back
much.
at the first game, the second game yet, but they've been there. And right behind them is Houston. That's a scary defense right there. So
Yeah,
that's
but they've come up in turnovers.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And again, turnovers like net points can be positive or negative. We see Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, the Rams, Philly, New England, Chargers, Buffalo, Green Bay, and Carolina in the top half at the very least at
There
minus
you
zero
go.
point 0.1. So for the season, Chicago reigns supreme. Over the last 3 weeks, your Giants are tied with Minnesota, Benny.
Yeah, well, we
At
had a couple of easy games.
And then you got a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie with Houston, Jacksonville, Atlanta, and New England. Then you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie between Chicago, Pittsburgh, Rams, Philly, Cincinnati. That gets you down to 11th place where you have a 3-way tie. None of those teams are in. And Chargers breaking even at 0. Anything on this one?
Nah, like you said, Chicago's been hanging in there at the top all season. Jacksonville has also, in fact, I think the first few weeks, Jacksonville was on top before Chicago took over because they had crap loaded games where they had multiple interceptions.
Okay.
So they were riding high there maybe 3, 4 weeks into the season, and then Chicago kind of took over. And Houston has come on late, if I'm remembering properly, but they've always been near the top defensively because of their overall defense and the yardage and the scoring that they don't give up. And again, there's Pittsburgh up high in turnover differential, which is the one thing that's making their defense formidable, considering that they've been getting chopped up pretty good by some teams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. That, Benny, wraps up our statistical overview. We took a look at average net points, average points for, average points against, and average turnover differential. All righty there. So that's where everybody finished up the season. So we know who's who. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks that were number one in average net points for the season. And that wraps up the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings show. Any last words, Mr. Dickerson?
No, sir.
All right. Remember, this is the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings. You can reach us at sterlingnppr.com. If you're on YouTube, please click the notification button and that notification bell and the subscribe button. And have a safe and wonderful week. Enjoy the weekend of football that is upon us. All right. Take care.